What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to DC Comics, and we're going to cover the first time that Tim Drake became Robin in DC Comics. This was a three-part story where we see the evolution of Tim Drake becoming somebody who was too scared to take the mantle, to wanting to take the mantle, into becoming the third Robin in DC Comics. So if you do like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. So the way this story opens up, we pick up with Batman kind of just looking over the city, seeing how the city looks and wondering if anything crazy is going to happen tonight on parole. When he thinks nothing is going to happen, that is when he hears gunshots, which of course means that Batman must go down there and figure out what in the world is going on. Except when he gets down to see a random person in a ghost mask shooting people, he rushes to stop that person, leading to him unmasking the person and finding out it is an old lady. Wondering why an elderly lady just went around on a killing spree. Before we can explore more of why an elderly lady just shot a group of random people, we pick up with some homeless people. We see that someone is taking a couple photos of them. We find out it is Vicki Vale. For the ones out there who don't know who she is a reporter. The reason why she is here right now is to help her with her latest article. She is going to write about the high amount of homeless people in Gotham. Make people aware of the problem. Except the problem is that when she sits down with them to have dinner, they try to serve her a cooked piece of rat meat, which of course makes her run away scared. Right after she leaves, that is when we see that someone else wearing a ghost mask is about to go on a killing spree on this group of homeless people. Before we can see what is going to happen, we jump back to Batman and the elderly lady he stopped who was going around shooting people, where she explains that it was an old lady whim, which of course does confuse Batman a little. Then we enter this nightmare phase of the story that we see Tim Drake is having. In the previous story, Tim Drake's mother was killed and his father is now bound to a wheelchair permanently. At first, he sees the graves of the previous Robins because at this point, Tim Drake has not been officially labeled as the new Robin. Batman wants to make sure he is ready because he does not want another Jason Todd situation. Anyways, he does see the graves of his parents, then confronted by Batman and Nightwing. He sees them as monsters, but then he is woken up by Batman. This is when Batman lets us know that today is Tim Drake's mother's funeral, so it is going to be a rough day for him. We quickly transition into this short section where we see that Vicki Vale is working on her photos. That is when she sees that she had captured a photo of the guy in the other ghost mask that we saw about to kill off the homeless people. When she sees that, that is when we see Alfred and Bruce Wayne are watching the news about the second ghost mask killer, where we find out that he was stopped. But then Alfred and Bruce Wayne are wondering what is making people do these random killings. Then Bruce Wayne wonders where Tim Drake is at. Of course, he's in the Batcave looking at the Robin case. We get the chance to see Tim Drake's anger get the best of him. He has the reason to be angry because his mother was killed. He is trying to figure out why Batman and Nightwing wear the mask. Batman tells him that anger will be his best friend. Then we see that Vicki Vale has been caught up with what happened after she left the group of homeless people, finding out that some were killed. But then she sees in her photo that the new ghost mask guy was dropped off at the location. She sees the car in the background and decides to see if she can figure out who the car belongs to. Jumping over to the funeral for Tim Drake's mother, we see that everyone is of course sad, mainly Tim Drake, but this leads into a conversation that Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne have about Tim Drake being the new Robin. How Tim wants to wear the Robin outfit, but Bruce Wayne says he will not, that Tim Drake should not be the new Robin at all. Vicki Vale goes to the police station to see who is the owner of the car that dropped off the second ghost mask killer, only to be told that it belongs to Rico Marcuse, who is supposed to be an honest man. Vicki Vale at first takes a police officer's word on that, but then wonders if Rico Marcuse is a liar. We get to a small argument between Bruce Wayne and Tim Drake, because Tim Drake thinks he is ready to be Robin now, where of course Batman still says no, because he wants Tim Drake to understand something, that when you wear the mask, it becomes a symbol, but at the same time, the mask hides things. It hides your fears, your doubts in things, but it can't hide you from yourself. He wants Tim Drake to think about those words and leaves the cave, stating that if Tim puts the Robin outfit on before figuring out those words, Batman will stop Tim from becoming the next Robin. We then see Vicki Vale go to a warehouse of Rick Marcuse because she is trying to be a great reporter. Since this is the end of the first chapter, we have to end it on a cliffhanger, which is that she's about to be killed off by another ghost mask killer. Shifting the focus back on Batman, we see that he is now chasing down another ghost mask killer. This one, of course, dressed in a Santa Claus outfit because around this time it is Christmas. Batman is able to, of course, stop this one from getting away and the day is saved. The big question is still going around, why are these random people turning into killers for? Especially, why are they all deciding to wear a ghost mask? That is when Batman gets word that Vicki Vale has been trying to figure that out, and the police officer from earlier tells him about Rick Marcuse. So Batman believes that must be a clue as well, so he leaves to find Rick Marcuse. Picking back up with Vicki Vale, we see that she is being chased down by that ghost mask killer we saw at the end of the first chapter. Inside the building that supposedly belongs to Rick Marcuse, we see Rick Marcuse himself, where he and his men overhear what is happening outside. So he and his men go outside and we learn there is some connection to the ghost mask killers to him. The one present right now is not acting strange like the others. He just works for Rick Marcuse. He tells his men that they need to leave and meet up with someone else. So they just bring her along with them, and of course, Batman sees Vicki Vale being held hostage but follows them quietly. Now, finally getting back to Tim Drake, we see him in the Batcave trying to figure out who's behind all of the Ghostface killers that Gotham has been seeing for the past couple days. Of course, he is considering it could be one of Batman's rogue galleries, not some regular day crook trying to make a name for themselves. Then you have Tim Drake start thinking about the Robin suit, how he wants to be Robin so bad, except Batman said no for now. And Tim must help Batman break open this case, so he gets back to work. This is where we had a story kind of start building up the idea of telling us that it is someone from Batman's rogue gallery behind all of this. Also, I forgot to mention that Batman found out that the people who have been going around killing people, the GCPD can't find any traces of mind control. And for now, the toxins are a no as well. Now, Vicki Vale tries to run away by pushing the thugs who work for Rick Marcuse, except she is grabbed by them and she sees the face of who is behind all of this. And we do see Batman is not too far from behind. So of course, he is going to try to save her, but he is also going to learn who is behind all of this. We get another dream sequence for Tim Drake, where he is greeted by the ghosts of Dick Grayson Robin and Jason Todd Robin as well, where the ghosts of the two characters are basically telling Tim Drake that heroes don't give up. Then the ghost of Jason mentions that if Tim Drake tries to rush into being Robin, he will end up dead like Jason Todd did. So it is him basically telling him to take it slow. But then you have Tim Drake realize that these people are being forced to kill people by fear. Before we can learn who it is, we see Tim Drake call up the GCPD to, of course, call up Jim Gordon to warn him about whoever is behind all of this. And we can see in the face of Jim Gordon that whatever name that Tim Drake just told him, it scares him and knows this is very serious. Then Tim Drake tells Jim Gordon that he needs to put the bat signal up. We see that whoever is behind all of this also sees the bat signal in the sky, letting him know that the GCPD have figured out it was him. He wants Batman to come to him and try to stop him, that the whole building he is hiding in is a trap for Batman. Tim Drake and the GCPD are hoping that it is not too late to stop Batman before the chance of him being captured. To close on the second chapter of this book, we see Tim Drake tell Jim Gordon to send officers to the location where Batman could be at, because it was the last time Batman fought this foe. And then we send Tim thinking about putting on the Robin outfit. Instead, he doesn't, but he does leave Wayne Manor in a hurry, where of course Alfred hears Tim leaving and wondering where he is going. Then to close on the second chapter of this book, we see that Batman had fallen in one of the traps, except we learn who is the true villain of this story, and it is the Scarecrow. So now we are in the final chapter of the book, which is basically where you have Scarecrow just telling us that he is the main bad guy of this book. How he wanted to get revenge against Batman since Batman beat him last time. It is really just Scarecrow kind of being your usual bad guy, except then the big question pops up, which is why in the world Scarecrow is doing this for. How Scarecrow was able to get people to become serial killers. Which basically he gives us a quick rundown on his origin, but before he does, he gives Rick Marcuse an envelope to say it is extra money for doing a good job. Either way, he explained how he was so amazed by the concept of fear, how it led to him becoming a professor at a university. Except the higher saw him crazy, and then it led to him to a career in crime. Moving on, he explains that he was able to transfer his fear toxin by putting it in envelopes, mailing it to random people, so when they open it up, they are hit with the fear toxin and go on a killing spree. His goal is, of course, he wants to have a city under control by his fear toxin. Now we knew that sooner or later that he would affect Batman with his fear toxin, which he does, and now Batman is under the Scarecrow fear toxin. So now for Batman, his only hope is really Tim Drake. We then get a page where we see that Scarecrow had lied to Rick Marcuse about the bonus, because when Rick Marcuse opens up his envelope hoping that he is about to get some money, he comes to find out that it is really Scarecrow fear toxin and then goes on a rampage. Now this leads us into Tim Drake arriving at the warehouse, And this is going to be the moment that shows Batman that Tim Drake is ready to be Robin, because Tim Drake is able to get through all of the security that Scarecrow had around the building. Remember that to the villains of Batman, Batman no longer has a Robin. To them, it is just Batman and Nightwing. Nightwing is not currently in Gotham, so it is just Batman protecting Gotham. So the Scarecrow never prepared for someone coming to save Batman. This leads us to see Tim Drake being able to make it to the top level of the building. Of course, at first, it seems like Tim Drake is going to be able to handle the Scarecrow very easily. Except that is when Tim Drake is hit with the fear toxin. Remember, this is his first time fighting against Scarecrow. This is the first time going through the fear toxin. This is something new for Tim Drake. Tim Drake has to go through and fight his fear, because if he doesn't do well, Tim Drake will lose and Batman will die. Except since DC did not want to kill off their newest Robin that quick, so he is able to fight through the fear toxin and then flip the script on Scarecrow. What I mean is that Scarecrow was hit with his own fear toxin and he is taken out so quickly. Then Tim Drake goes to check up on Batman and Batman calls out to Tim Drake, except he calls Tim Drake Robin for the first time in DC Comics. Which the police arrive, of course they are late to the battle, which they would not be able to do much. They find Batman with the Scarecrow and his goons knocked out, Vicki Vale freaking out, where Batman tells them that everything is over and now they can all leave. This leads into Batman catching up to Tim Drake outside of the warehouse, where he thanks Tim for coming to his rescue. That if Tim Drake did not come to his rescue, Vicki Vale and Batman would both be dead. He then proceeds to call Tim Drake Robin one more time. Of course, this is the closing moment where you have Batman and Tim Drake go back to the Batcave, and basically this is the moment you have Batman hand Tim Drake a package, which that is of course Tim Drake Robin's suit, and we see Tim Drake become the new Robin at this point in DC Comics. And this is where we are going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video.